not suitable for ages 3 and under. It reflects the opinions of VH1 and you, the viewer, at least those who cared enough to vote. You will disagree, you will be angry, and even outraged. Just remember, you helped with the rank, and you sunk my battleship.
So you think you're still a kid at heart?
Hey, what's up, guys?
Okay, strawberry shortcake, get ready to pogo till you puke. It's I Love Toys, the crucial countdown. And this is 40 to 21. A big wheeling, shrinky dinking, no assembly required rank that presents more questions than answers.
How'd that work out? Y'all ready for this?
Can the Ninja Turtles kick teddy bears' butts?
Cowabunga!
What's so silly about Putty anyway?
Oh my God, I have such a bad cold.
Did the Mario Brothers give Italians a bad name?
What are they doing but running around, chasing girls, and collecting money?
Plus, the meaning of Nerf.
That, of course, stands for non-expanding recreational foam.
Is that true?
Nerf. No.
What a bunch of airheads, man!
And Twister ties you up in a knot.
That's just not my style.
Because the most awesome toys ever deserve a place in history.
You sank my battleship. Biatch.
Because you can't wait to have a tea party. Admit it. This is I Love Toys.
Bingo.
40 to 21.
Number 40.
If you want to rank the big wheel, it should be at least the top 10 because everybody had a big wheel, everybody could afford a big wheel, and the colors was awesome.
Big wheels are a-rolling with big fat wheels in back.
Big wheels represented like this pure childhood fantasy joy.
In your mind as a kid, you were driving cross country and you're like, you know, Peter Fonda and Easy Rider.
You would literally like get in your big wheel and like cruise down the street and like feel cool passing like the girls on the street.
Maybe I should put my legs underneath. Wow. Oh, my nuts.
The neighborhood kids would all get together and we'd have like a big wheel gang.
Get a gang of big wheels, boom, boom, boom. Break into selling some drugs, move your way up, you know, trafficking across the country. That's the way we did it.
The best thing was the side brake.
When you jam on the brakes, you spin, spin.
You could whip your tail around. Hey, what's up, guys?
Awesome. Big wheel. Your own transportation, that's what kids want.
Big wheel, it's the gold standard plastic tricycle for any suburban child.
I love the big wheel.
Number 39.
Can I pour you a little tea?
Another cup of tea, please.
Lovely tea. Thank you.
You know what, Rainbow Bright? We are having a lovely tea party, and you don't play nice.
Julie! Did you eat the crumpets?
That's it. You're gonna go back under the bed.
Every little girl loved to have a tea party. Now, in order to have a tea party, you had to have the tea set.
Mine were plastic. Like, my parents would never trust me with ceramic. Are you kidding me?
I always liked the underwater tea parties that you played, like, in the pool.
And you sit cross-legged, like, on the floor of the pool, and you're like...
I did love my tea set. I never drank from it. My dolls would drink from, you know, my various teacups.
Oh, somebody's got gas.
Somebody was in there thinking like, wow, hold up. How can we make a lonely child even lonelier? Give them something where they need friends to have fun with it, but they don't have friends.
All right, guess what? Somebody gets heads up, gets over to the next room. Oh, that is just awful.
They have tequila sets now. So when they get to be 12 or 13, they just start shooting tequila.
Tequila.
See, chug it. Yes, go. Awesome.
Oh, do you see that?
And that's Earl Grey. That's Earl Grey.
You see that? Oh, God.
You know, people try to say that tea parties brainwash little girls, but this taught you about being social.
My outfit does not look like Liberace.
Why don't we give them a small bed to make, too? How about put the pillowcase in the pillow. It's like, this is so sad.
Made the ladies be ladies and turned little boys into gentlemen.
You skinny bitch.
We could be shooting BB guns, playing with G.I. Joe, but no, we are...
Delightful tea party.
We are genteel.
It's really not as fun without everybody, though. I'll be honest.
Number 38.
It's the Pogo Stick, suddenly American youth's most popular way of doing something different.
If you're a fan of bouncing, and what child isn't, you really can't find a better toy.
Like, I love bouncing. I've always loved going in the air. First it was Pogo Sticks, and then I graduated to BMX bikes and skateboards.
It's energetic, it's physical, it's vertical, and engages the entire body.
The Pogo Stick is not a toy. It is simply the most dangerous form of transportation ever invented.
Hey, look at me, one. And I bounce like 3 times and then fall over.
Once you can get your balance, and once you can figure out how to correct yourself in the air, you can bounce as long as you want.
You have to be very careful.
I'm gonna give it a shot.
Always wear your helmet and pads.
Holy, oh!
Very, very careful.
Right, Lonnie?
They're all the old school ones, but not me. I'm into the extreme pogo. Pogo, 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 pogo.
The new Pogo Sticks are even better, if you can possibly imagine, than the old ones. They go 6 feet high.
With that much time in the air, the tricks are just endless. It's up to your imagination.
I'm about to pogo my ass off up in here, baby. I need a stunt double.
Stunt double.
See me pea sticking, kid? Who pea sticks better than me?
Number 37.
Ladies and gentlemen, Roger Staubach plays the new Mattel electronic football game.
Well, you can take your Sony PlayStation and your GameCube and your Xbox, you can shove them up your ass. Because for my money, this might be the greatest video game ever invented.
You play offense. The amazing computer plays defense.
I want this. I'm taking it home today.
A lot of my 3rd grade year was taken up with this game.
This game got me thrown out of so many classes.
The scoreboard's automatic, and every game is different.
You can't even see the characters. It was just the dots.
They were little sticks that moved up like this. They were gung, 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 gung.
But the dots were so strong.
Your man was a line. Your quarterback was a line. Your defensive guy was a line.
You can cut, run, and be tackled. Oh!
You gotta see 10 steps ahead, and you gotta be patient, then you gotta make a break.
There's a kickoff, and the dot gets the ball.
Springhead take the snap, he's in back.
He could go all the way, and he hasn't played in years, ladies and gentlemen. Look at him, he's got an opening, oh!
You can go all the way. I'm going all the way. Touchdown.
Love that sound. That's the sound of not having any friends and sitting in the backyard and hearing them play in the swimming pool down the street.
I had a friend who, his name was Bickley. He used to be so nice at this. I mean, he would be like, and everybody's like, look at him, look at what he's doing. Watch him, look at his moves.
I wonder if the guy who invented, like the one guy worked there, is like, never realized what he did. He changed America forever.
It's classic football, and it's called classic football for a reason. It's a classic. This is what it's all about.
Get it now. Mattel Electronics Football.
Coming up, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Shrinky Dinks, and Twister. Where will they rank?
I love the smell of this.
Find out when VH1's I Love Toys continues. But first,
Evil Knievel's amazing toy stunts. Today he attempts to jump Sheriff Dillo. Yeehaw! He reps, he jumps. No, that's gotta hurt. Let's see it again.
My shell.
They're okay.
now let's see. Scary toys.
Number 36.
Strawberry Shortcake originally was a character that was on American greeting cards in the 70s and the 80s. And because the character was so popular with girls, they decided to make a Strawberry Shortcake doll.
I loved Strawberry Shortcake. I still have the dolls, and they still smell.
They all smell like old, stale liquor. They're like the floor of the Chi Omega house on Sunday morning.
I remember I had one friend who loved Strawberry Shortcake, and she had all of them, and I was always really jealous because I didn't have any. So I think one day I tried to steal mine from her.
I loved her. I had the Strawberry Shortcake family, and I had a lemon meringue doll, Strawberry Shortcake, and Huckleberry Pie.
I remember sucking on her hair for nutrients.
Little girls loved Strawberry Shortcake, and little girls wanted to own a piece of the berry. So they would wear their Strawberry Shortcake t-shirts and sleep in their Strawberry Shortcake beddings. Ironically enough, nobody ever manufactured Strawberry Shortcake brand Strawberry Shortcake.
Number 35. Tonka, Tonka, Tonka.
This is a man's toy right here.
The greatest invention for any kid that loves to play in the dirt.
What separates Tonka from the rest of the toy world is these things are Tonka tough. Tonka's got the stuff.
All the Tonka toys were supposedly unbreakable. So you just be trying your best to just break it. You be like throwing it up against the wall and stepping on it.
This is pure steel.
God, if you could feel the heft on this thing. Listen to that. That is a satisfying clang.
Hard. You can't break this at all.
And the thing that made this toy really so incredible was that it actually worked.
Tonka toys are the toys that work. They really work.
Like, my dad made me build the foundation of our new house with this.
I mean, you take this into the sandbox, you are king of the sandbox.
I do think that you're thinking, boy, when you buy a truck, but I gotta tell you, I'm having a pretty good time.
You know what I did? I used to stand on them and make them skates. They were Tonka skates.
Tonka means great in the Sioux language. It's a great truck.
Now, Tonka in Swedish means tug job. To get a Tonka is a, something like that. So you want to make sure you're saying the right word in the right country.
Tonka truck, Tonka. I don't think Tonka has a song. Tonka truck, doing my thing in the sand. Yeah, I just made one up.
I think Tonka should be in the top, definitely be in the top 10 toys, because this is a great toy that's still durable and still great today.
The mighty Tonka, yeah, woo!
Number 34.
If Connect 4 was a song that they played at a club, I would go, ooh, girl, this is my joint, bitch.
Connect 4. I just played this game the other day with my daughter.
This was like a game you could play with your mom.
Object, connect 4 of your checkers in a row while preventing your opponent from doing the same.
Oh, to be good at Connect 4, you've got to be brilliant. You've got to be in shape.
Oh, you're going to lose this one.
I've got you now!
I just like to start one row at a time. And if it doesn't work out for me, I lose.
Red versus black.
Black versus red. American Indian versus African American.
What's how that work out?
Forced out versus forced in.
But look out, your opponent can sneak up on you and win the game.
Where? I can't hear diagonally.
More hair pulling, screaming, and crying came out of the result of the diagonal win of Connect 4.
They were expecting horizontal.
Talking, being distracted, and then you're going on, and nothing's happening, you're putting them in, and all of a sudden, you yell, Connect 4.
I remember the commercial for this game had that crazy tagline.
Pretty sneaky, sis.
Oh, my God. Pretty sneaky, sis.
Pretty sneaky, sis.
My name's John.
Reeked of incest, quite frankly.
Number 33.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Teenage Ninja Mutant Turtles.
Heroes in a half shell.
Turtle power! Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles were huge. They're like everywhere.
Ninja Turtles are the bomb. Favorite cartoon. I love the toys. I collected them all.
We have Donatello.
Leonardo.
I like Raphael.
Everybody liked Michelangelo because he was kind of laid back, and he was the one who would say, like, cowabunga.
They were all terrible English speakers. They were all radical this, extreme that, cowabunga dude.
What a bunch of airheads, man!
See what happened to these guys were they were just regular turtles. And then they got some acid or some chemical or something.
Some kind of toxic ooze malfunction spilled on their little turtle eggs and turned them into
human halfling flesh bots in a half shell.
Right, and then they grew up and they became heroes.
They were always after the bad guys. They lived in the sewer.
Their mentor was a sewer rat by the name of Splinter, Master Splinter.
I think he was cool, but Shredder was badass because that guy just had like spikes everywhere.
You're crazy turtles. Pizza-eating turtles. That's crazy.
I second that emotion.
That's a great toy. Great toy, not a good toy. That's a great toy right there.
Coming up, the battle for number 22. Who will take it? The Rock'em Sock'em Robots, Cabbage Patch Kids, or Teddy Bears? Find out when I Love Toys continues. But first, this is Cobra Commander, international terrorist, leader of the Cobra forces, and sworn enemy of G.I. Joe. And this is his day off.
Yeah, of course. No, I should be there anytime, honey. I love you too.
Only on VH1.
Supermarket surprise.
Look, a homie.
Lucky. Number 32.
Color in a Shrinky Dink, cut out a Shrinky Dink.
Then Mom bakes it and right before your eyes,
Your Shrinky Dink shrinks right down to size.
Shrinky Dinks were cool. My sister did not make Shrinky Dinks as well as I did. There's just something about evenness of the coloring and where you put it in the oven, and I just made the best Shrinky Dinks.
Shrinky Dinks were the bomb. I had a ton of them.
The idea is, hey kids, put some plastic in your oven. That's unsafe on a couple different levels.
There were like 47 warnings on the box.
I've spent a couple of weeks in the burn ward because of Shrinky Dinks.
But on the other hand, look at this awesome necklace.
Fabulous, fantastic. Then it's up to you what your Shrinky Dinks do.
Once you've shrunk your dink, there's not much more to do with it.
You put it in the wrist rocket. Oh, pow, Shrinky Dink.
It's basically the white trash stained glass. You can hang in a window.
Start a gang. We're the Dinks.
You could make a keychain, you could make earrings, you could make a ring.
You could give them to your parents on like Father's Day or Mother's Day. It came from your heart because you made it yourself.
And they pretend that they care, and the second you turn around, they throw it in the garbage or they jerk off on it. But that's sick.
The magical world of Shrinky Dinks.
Number 31.
I love the smell of this.
My reaction the first time I played Twister was, wow, some of my friends need to shower. More than they are.
Object of the game is you spin this right here, and wherever it lands on, you have to put your hand, your foot, or whatever on the corresponding color.
You would have the people that were going to actually play on the actual little sheet, and then you had the spinner.
Oh, man, if he was just a spinner, man, come on. It's like the guy in the parking lot that just watches the cars or something like that.
Twister is one of those rare games where the game changes completely from when you're a kid.
You have a girl at the house, you got the wine out, you're trying all your best moves and nothing's working. Break out Twister. She's butt naked in an hour.
Damn, he's a naked Twister.
Ooh, your man gets so horny off of that.
You know, boys and girls, we're gonna get together and we're gonna go, oh, we have to reach all the way over here. Watch out for my nutsack.
Ooh, somebody's been touching this.
Oh, that's my hymen you've just punctured.
That's just not my style.
Twister was tough to put away when you were done playing it because, you know, the mat's all spread out and, you know, you've got an erection. So you just want to get out of the room.
You could never fold that sheet up, so I would just ball it up and put it in my closet.
Number 30.
Battleship, a great game of strategy, action, and suspense.
Miss H6.
You sank my battleship. Battleship was the dopest game ever made.
I would say number 5 on the Wendy hit list.
When you sunk all the other person's ships, you felt so good.
Oh, you sunk my battleship.
It's not a game when you play Battleship. Once you flip this open, it was like, hey, man, it was all out war.
The trick on Battleship, really, is to position your boats in the place where you think your opponent is least likely to find them. So there's a lot of mind games that go on. How well do I know my opponent? How well do I engage my opponent? It's just like Patton versus Rommel in the big one. I read his book. I read your book, you son of a bitch.
See, I would always try to set up my ships around the perimeter because people would think, oh, he's not going to be there because it's too easy. But I would always successfully sink all my brother's ships. I was the Battleship champion.
It was the first game that kids had to play where they had to tell the truth to each other. Because technically, you just lie the whole time, say, miss, miss, miss.
Who didn't cheat at Battleship?
No, I wouldn't cheat in Battleship. You can't cheat in war, you know? Either the bullet hits you or it doesn't. There's really no getting around it.
G8.
E7.
Miss B4.
Bingo.
Ah, that's a hit. You
D6.
You sank my battleship, biatch.
Battleship by Milton Bradley.
Number 29.
She's here.
Congratulations.
Cabbage Patch Kids.
Around 1983, Cabbage Patch pandemonium swept the nation.
They were bigger than the Beatles, man.
People were stampeding each other and climbing over each other and knifing each other to get these dolls for their children. And you can see why.
I got one when I was about 10, and I loved him so much.
I was home recently and noticed that my mother had given my Cabbage Patch doll away, and it's 20 years later, but I felt like a piece of my childhood was ripped from me.
So they were actually born in a Cabbage Patch.
You got some horse manure, a little bit of straw.
I saw them being born, and they come out of a cabbage.
Wet it down, come back in a few days, and boom! You have a Cabbage Patch doll.
That's pretty weird.
You could adopt the baby. It was your baby. Nobody else had one like you.
Some Cabbage Patch Kids were black, some Cabbage Patch Kids were white, some Cabbage Patch Kids were bald.
And this one, I guess, is the preemie, which means it was born prematurely, which means there's a good chance it'll suffer brain damage long term.
We've got Cabbage Patch Kids, and you get to adopt them. Yeah, we've had over 16 million adoptions, you know. Meanwhile, you know, actual, kids who need to be adopted are all like, well, I guess I'm not Cabbage Patchy enough.
You know it's a real CPK because you got Xavier Roberts' name branded across the right butt cheek.
He branded every one of those babies. That wasn't right.
So innocent. How can you not? How can you not?
After the success of the Cabbage Patch, they came out with another doll that was called The Baby That You Get from... Never worked as well as the Cabbage Patch. It was a little too graphic.
Number 28.
Crayola crayons, hours of fun.
I'm still happy to see something about them. You know, they're so waxy and pretty.
They took Roy G. Biv to a whole new level.
It's not technically a toy, but it's a fun activity. You get to make pictures and tell stories and color things in. It's something that you play with, so I think it's a toy. I love crayons.
This is the 64 pack.
You got the 64. You were the man on the block.
You know, kids, I'm coming to school, I'm really serious about my coloring, and my mom understood it, so she got me the biggest pack that she could get me with the built-in sharpener.
The sharpener was never that great, but just having it was a must.
When you didn't have a sharpener, the 8 crayons, 16 crayons.
What you always end up doing then is having to peel the paper away.
How ghetto is that?
The thing that I love about Crayola is they got really specific and nuanced with their colors.
Orchid. Let's see, what do we have here? Oh, carnation pink.
Macaroni and cheese.
This is Ike Turner black. That won't ever make it to air. Don't worry. Everybody relax. It's okay.
And of course, if you were a child, you had to taste it. You had to eat it.
They look delicious. They should be delicious.
Fantastic.
This is a great toy. Hours and hours I've spent coloring.
This is Crayola, man. This is gospel right here.
Is Crayola the only game in town?
I've never heard of any other kind of crayon.
That's why they can make up names like Periwinkle and Douchebag Blue.
I think the crayons should be in the top 10. And if they just died out, you'd be like, oh, remember crayons from when I was a kid? But no, everybody knows crayons.
This is still classic. Crayons, forever.
Coming up, what's the most popular medium for aspiring artists? LiteBrite or Etch-a-Sketch? Find out when I Love Toys continues. But first, the rank update.
Hi again, Mo Rocca with an update of this hour's rankings. We're starting to see some real titans of the toy world now. The Pogo Stick vaulted into number 38. Tonka Trucks rolled in at number 35. And Twister, well, I predicted this one, came in very high at number 31. Now here's Michael Ian Black with his big upset of the hour.
A 36 for Strawberry Shortcake? That doesn't belong on the list. It certainly doesn't belong in the top 50. Why? Why? Scratch and Sniff stickers maybe belong on the list. A Scratch and Sniff girl that smells like pastry? Not so much. If I want to smell pastry, I'll buy a pastry.
Strawberry Shortcake is not a pastry. It's a cake. I'm Mo Rocca. I'll see you later with a complete recap. Don't forget to log on to VH1.com and examine the V-Spot for more on the rankings you contributed to. While you're there, try our Ricky Martin Magic 8-Ball. Ricky's replies are never hazy.
VH1. Watch and discuss.
Grow up, princess.
Grow,
grow, grow, grow, grow, grow, grow, grow, grow, grow, grow, grow, grow, grow, grow. Yay!
Number 27.
Hey. Hey. It's Silly Putty time.
This is the genius about Silly Putty. It comes in the egg.
This was like the greatest thing when I was a kid. And now it comes in all these lovely bright colors.
I think Silly Putty's, if it's not a top 10 toy, it definitely has the ability to be shaped into a top 10 toy.
Oh, yes. It really has an infinite number of uses.
Oh my God, I have such a bad cold.
Voila.
Look at that!
Silly Putty got gross after a while, too. Like, Silly Putty didn't last as long as Play-Doh.
It'll get, all gooey with the lint and the hair. It was disgusting. It looked like it was growing pubic hair.
Inevitably, it's the comic strip, push the Silly Putty on the comic strip.
Then you peel it off the newspaper, and oh my God, there's Snoopy.
And look what comes up. Nothing. I don't know if the fault is with me or with the Silly Putty.
Number 26. Oh, boy!
I absolutely live for Lionel Trains.
Lionel Trains. This is toys from back in the day. My dad's dad had Lionel Trains.
It wasn't even so much about the trains. It was more about the accessories that you could buy for the train.
You put little pills in the top of the engine and it would blow smoke. You had a little whistle.
You could buy little houses and little people and little gates that went up and down. This really was a dad thing. Dads got you into trains.
Lionel Trains, you really need a dad to help you set those up. Or a lesbian mom.
It would take hours to put together, and then once you put it together and you watch the train go around 4 times, it was that.
I remember many, many Christmases underneath the Christmas tree, just sucking in those Lionel Train fumes and just getting high. And all of a sudden, it's Christmas, and you get to open the presents.
I was not a train set enthusiast when I was a kid, but I hope that when I become old and eccentric, I'll turn into one of those weird dudes in the basement that has like a elaborate train setup.
If you see like some kind of older dude with a really elaborate train setup in his basement, and he's got like the hat on and stuff, run.
Number 25.
LiteBrite, making stunning designs.
Making things with LiteBrite.
I love my LiteBrite very much.
Oh, LiteBrite was a very big deal.
My friend Jenny had a LiteBrite. I wanted one so bad, I tried to take hers, and I took the box, and all of the pegs spilled out all over the floor. She caught me.
LiteBrite is basically a box with a light bulb in it and a screen on the front. And you have these little colored pegs that you can poke into it.
You had to have the black sheet of paper, of course, to go over the sort of griddle pattern deal they had here.
And they have patterns drawn out for you. And if it's a G, you put green there. If it's a W, you put white there. And if it's an R, you put red.
I was never put the LiteBrite in because once you punch it, it's dead. You pull it out, it's a bunch of jibber jabber. What is this? Does the red one go there? Or does the blue one go here?
Your LiteBrites were interesting because they tend to be more kind of abstract impressionist. Yes.
I just did Snoopy. Every time, same thing, over and over, till it was perfected.
And then you make rainbows. That's pretty.
One time I made a pony. When you play with LiteBrite, there is always the danger that you're just going to burn your hand on the light bulb, but all great art has risks.
I know a kid from 2nd grade who still has a peg lodged in his sinus cavity.
The thing with LiteBrite, they were always so cool. It was really like your own little laser light show in your bedroom.
I think you're never too old for LiteBrite.
Number 24.
Yes, the old dreaded water pistol.
Guns filled with water. For you and I, not very dangerous. For the Wicked Witch of the West, deadly.
When I was growing up in Hollis, we would scrape up the pennies, run to the store, get your water gun.
When you're kind of broke and you don't have a pool or anything, you're like, this will be a way to cool us off in the summer.
Like my friends would come over and be like, come on, let's have a battle.
I would say my use of the water gun was more tied to vigilantism than organized defense.
Why is it you can create something this fun, but to put the water back in, it's this little tiny hole?
There'd be this piece that you'd have to, like, try to get out with your teeth. And that was the thing that held the water in.
If you ran the faucet too hard, it went it didn't go in right away.
And then while you trying to get it to fill back up, somebody is squaring it. It was like you could never win with this little gun. It was all fun and games with water pistols until the Super Soaker came out.
Air pressure super soaker, you see that? Check that out, look at this.
Check it out.
They had the one that had the backpack, where you walk around with like 18 gallons of water.
This way, blue team, this way! On 2! That was like the AK-47 of water guns. And Lord help you if they would fill it up with like their own urine.
But I think these were funner.
With this, there's no mystery. You know, for example, I just shot you. You knew I had it. You weren't totally unprepared for that. I just shot your PA. Camera's getting it next. Now it's a little Russian roulette. You feel lucky, punk? Not really.
Number 23.
Yeah, Nerf balls. Nerf is hot.
I had every Nerf product they had, the football, the basketball. I had a Nerf girlfriend for a while.
Nerf is a miraculous toy material that's been around since the 60s. It, of course, stands for non-expanding recreational foam.
Is that true?
Nerf. No.
Nerf basketball. Easy to pass, dribble, and shoot.
The Nerf was designed for Jewish kids who are not great athletes and who are afraid of real sporting equipment.
Y'all ready for this?
You could play football with a Nerf football, but more often you used it to play Smear the Queer.
When it got wet, it became a deadly weapon.
You ever have a wet Nerf into your neck? You're like, oh yeah, wow! Oh!
Nerf, just something about it just said, bite me.
There were Nerf biters. People would gnaw on the... Why?
Oh, God.
I thought it got bitten off because the game got rough.
People of all ages can use the Nerf when you're young. When you're a baby, you can tease on it. When you get older, you can play catch with it. When you become a little older than that, you use it as a lumbar support while you're driving. And then when you're an old man, you take it and you it real hard.
I'm a fan of being outside and being active, and with Nerf footballs, you're out there, you're doing it. So I'm gonna put Nerf, I'm gonna say it's definitely top 10.
Nerf football, #2 toy in the world. And kind of tasty, too.
Coming up, who's more fun to play with, Teddy or Mario? Your votes have been tallied. Teddy Bears and Nintendo duke it out for number 21. The outcome is next on I Love Toys. But first,
big in Japan, not big in the US, but big in Japan.
Konnichiwa. Welcome to Big in Japan. I'm your host, Locha. This is my co-host, Hello Kitty.
Hello, Big Japanese Toy Party.
Today, Big in Japan guest is one bad mother. All he knows is iron a sword and drag a hand roll smoke. Please give one welcome to Apple Samurai.
Hello, big hunky man. Afro Samurai love white woman.
And that Big in Japan toy. See you on flip side, homie. Sayonara.
This summer on Before They Were Rock Stars, Frogger.
Back in the day, Frogger was just a working stiff like the rest of us. Check him out here in his early days. Cute, huh? But fame was only a couple hops away.
And on I Love the 80s for real.
For my 8th birthday, I wanted Gem and the holograms, and my mom got me Get in Shape Girl.
Your cookie-addicted child.
Get in shape, girl, you know the feeling.
number 22.
Picnic time for teddy bears.
But I love teddy bears.
As a child growing up, every little boy and girl needs a teddy bear.
It's probably like the simplest, most comforting toy. I bought my wife one. It sings, you know how much I love you. You know how much I care.
My first teddy bear was a Winnie the Pooh teddy bear. Oh my God, I love that teddy bear.
I had this one teddy bear, Huggy, who I dropped in bacon grease, and I thought I killed him.
The nice thing about teddy bears is you could name your teddy bear to make it special. I named mine Lulu.
A good teddy bear can get rid of the monsters under your bed when you're going to sleep.
Lulu, where Lulu went? Oh, Lulu.
Separation anxiety from your parents.
Soft. They're just soft.
A bad case of chlamydia.
It just comforts you.
I wish I was a teddy bear.
When you go off to college, all the girls always brought their teddy bears.
I think there's psychotic girls who do that, some lonely baby stuff. They need love, and I'm the one who give it to them.
This is sort of your warning sign that she's not going to want it up the butt.
Teddy bears, pretty solid top 10.
A girl can have it and be a girl. A little boy can have it and not be called a sissy.
The last time I hugged a bear, it depends what you mean by bear. Because, you know, bear is a code word in the gay community.
Teddy bears are named after Teddy Roosevelt.
Teddy Roosevelt was on a hunting trip.
A group of drunken crackers basically had tied a bear to a tree and were saying, hey, Teddy, how'd you like to kill it?
And he refused to do it, so they developed a teddy bear. You gotta think if G.W. Bush was out hunting and they tied a bear to a tree, he would not only shoot it, he'd pose for photos with it afterwards.
So if it wasn't for President Roosevelt, we would not have teddy bears. Thank you, Theodore.
Number 21.
I want money.
This was awesome. This is our cave at home.
It is amazing that I went outside my house for like a 6-year period.
I was like, yo, this joint is crazy. I stepped all night. Nintendo was that next step up above Atari. Nintendo had flavor in it, and just, you know, you started to see the graphics and all that step up. That's how you look when you play Nintendo.
It's me, Mario.
Dun, dun, dun.
And then, of course, when you send them underground,
well, in the Mario Brothers game, your job was to go through the levels and find the princess and save her.
I remember going, wow, they're really making fun of Italians in this. Because what are they doing but running around chasing girls and collecting money? And as I grew older, I realized that's what the Italians did.
When you got the Nintendo game, it would come with the Mario Brothers included with a game called Duck Hunt.
You were supposed to sit back from the TV and a duck would flap and you would and shoot the duck.
When I was younger, I always thought it was like kind of fun, you know, like having to aim and everything. And then I got older and I was like, we're killing ducks.
And when you missed, there's some dog to come up and would like kind of agitate you.
The hell with the ducks! You wanted to kill this storm.
Nintendo was a very temperamental system as well. So you'd get like the game cartridge, you
I remember my brother used to do that so much, and it wouldn't even work. Damn it, damn it.
My grandfather called it Tenento. He's like, you kids and your Tenento. I think my grandpa was still angry with the Japanese since the war.
Nintendo was like the video game system to end all video game systems.
To this day, it's a classic.
Now for a recap of our I Love Toys countdown, numbers 40 through 21.
To us, mosquitoes are annoying, but in Africa, they spread malaria, which is deadly. Bed nets can help stop mosquitoes in their tracks. Nothingbutnets.net. Send a net, save a life.